Welcome back to Infanity TV. I'm David Copeland-Smith, individual technical trainer, and I am with the amazing Lauren Sesselman today.
What's up, guys?
Lauren, today it's a big game.
It's
Paige Nielsen's return.
It is.
To Angel City. She's going to be playing for Houston. She's going to be in the orange today. How do you think that's going to go?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, anytime you get to come back to your old team and, just put it to them, it's going to be fun for her. Just to be able to see everybody. She's going to have her family in the stands, her sister, Sierra, always bringing a big crowd here. So I think she's going to show out.
Wow, you just know everything. Like the family, the sister, she's bringing a crowd.
Yeah.
You are Lauren Sessman. Sess of the people.
Sess of the people.
So, Lauren, 3 wins out of 4 games.
Yes.
The one we lost was to Kansas, where we kind of fell asleep in the last 5 or 6 minutes, which in this league is unforgivable.
Yeah.
We got punished for it. Let's talk me through the last game.
So they were playing Utah, who is actually at the bottom with Houston. So that's another reason for Houston to come out strong today. They only have 1 win under their belt. So last game, Angel City came out on top 2-1. And what I love is Sid got a goal. I'm always stressing and talking about get the ball to Sid, and she makes things happen. She needs to be on the ball more, and that's exactly what happened last game. Alyssa takes on, a bunch of people down the sidelines, sees Sid. She's really great with her head, scores a banger, and then they also get a PK as well.
4 yards.
Hey, a head banger,
A 4-yard banger.
You know what? But that's what Sid does.
Did you just say head banger? She scored a head banger. No.
Sid will appreciate that.
It was a great goal. What I loved about that, what I'm describing today's game as, it's like brimming, right? Like Alyssa whipped in a great cross, and I kind of think that went unseen.
Yeah.
But that's on Alyssa's weaker foot. She whipped it in, and Sid's redirect, that is a skill. Like, how many times have we seen that ball just fly? And Sid, there was no way that wasn't going, and she wanted that, right? She wanted it. Now, the reason I'm saying it's brimming because I think Alyssa is this close to popping off.
She's really coming into her own. She's really getting that confidence to take people on more and more. I mean, that's even why the PK happened as well last game. So I agree.
Thank you.
I agree with you for once. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Kennedy Fuller is also about to pop off. She is.
She's your favorite.
Because she's 17. She plays like
incredible.
She's 31.
Yeah.
Right? She plays like she's your age.
Yeah.
Which what I love to see with these youth players coming up is that they're genuinely, they play with such a maturity. We saw it with Claire Hutton when she came from playing for Kansas. They're playing with a maturity and a technical ability that we haven't seen before.
But it's also that game knowledge, which we talk about a lot.
Yeah,
understanding the game.
It's the vision.
It's an asset.
Right? This
it's
is
the vision.
What I love about Kennedy is her vision. Now, sometimes to the untrained eye, she'll play a ball, and people are like, "Where was she going?" But if you're like yourself, or you're obsessed with technique and vision like myself, you know what she was doing, and it's just getting on the same page with everyone and learning what type of passes certain players want, and learning everybody's movement on and off the ball, right?
Yeah.
Which she should be getting there now, this deep into the season. Now, I also say it's brimming. Houston, like you made a off-the-cuff remark about them being near the bottom of the league, right?
But the reason why I say that is they just went through a lot of changes. So I think that they have a lot of new players on the team. So I think they're going to be really hungry.
I think, to get back to what I think, I think Fran, the new head coach, you can really see what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
He's really trying to implement that beautiful football that everybody wants to see, of possession with a purpose. And I personally believe this is a throwaway season for Houston, because to play the type of football that he wants, that we're starting to see, it takes a while.
It does.
Like, players have to not just learn new systems, they have to learn a completely new style, and the game awareness needs to be top. It needs to be like crack, like on top. And I think they're kind of here.
They are.
Like we see it in like 2-3 minute episodes in the game if they keep it really well.
Yeah.
Now, if that all comes together, when that all gels, they are going to be a force. Now, I personally think they've still got a few missing pieces.
Yes.
I think losing Maria it's a hard one. But they still got Diana Ordóñez up front to score goals.
They added Ramona Bachmann from
Yeah.
Switzerland. Yeah, she's a great
Ramona,
player.
like-
Yeah, I played with her in Atlanta.
Did you play Ramona?
I was with her in Atlanta. Yeah.
So that was a while.
That was-
wasn't it? No, because it
Yeah.
shows like how long Ramona's been in the game, and she's a baller, right? Like she's a footballer. She loves the ball at her feet.
Yeah.
So they're adding pieces, and I'm excited to see them. Now, obviously, I want us to hammer them into the ground.
Yeah.
But I think when they gel,
Yeah.
hopefully it's not today, but when they do gel, they'll be a force.
Like, I want to go after that because I actually played for Houston for a few years. That was
did.
the team that I played for the longest, and I felt like it was always in a transition and rebuilding phase. And so I feel like now they're starting to bring in these players that are really going to make this team a team, and what you were talking about with coach and stuff like that. So, and then they're adding some more Brazilian players that's going to be coming in later down the road. I think it's going to be good for them.
No, you hit the nail on the head. Like they're perennially in a transition stage, right? Like it's, well, you know, because I had Rachel on that team, and like I knew the old owners very well, and I have this connection with the club, and I'm fingers crossed that they're finally getting stability, because Houston's such a good football city,
Yeah.
and they've got this team, and now which they should give Fran the time and the units needed on the field, and I think then they're going to have that stability. And unfortunately, they've been a team that people don't want to join. Right?
Yes.
That's just like stone cold facts.
Yeah, that's
like a little bit controversial, but it's truth. And we're hoping, like with Alex Singer as a GM, Alex is a former player, so she knows how it was. And hopefully she's steering that ship the right way. But anyway,
How can Angel City expose them today? You've been watching Houston play. What do you think is their biggest weakness
mistakes
or the biggest
at the back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they make a few glaring errors, and I think when we have Sid,
Yeah.
and like, I love Rocky Rodriguez. We don't have the starting lineup yet,
Yeah.
but when we've got, I think, right, speaking to fans this week, what our fans want is goals, right? We want goals.
Exactly.
And we're not getting goals the amount that we want. And we're not creating the chances that we want. And again, I put it down to gelling, because I look at individual pieces
We have it.
and we've got the jigsaw. It's just putting it together.
Yeah.
And when it does come together, I genuinely think that we can be ferocious going forward if we can utilize like each other's strengths. Like Alyssa is not just good on the run, that's taken away from her. She's got a lovely technical player. If we can get Alyssa top confidence,
Yep.
going at people and hitting corners, if we can get Kennedy in a role of a flow state of believing in itself inside that final third, because middle of the field, she's brilliant. But it's almost like we're scared to put a foot on the ball inside the final third. So I think once that comes together, we are going to be
My biggest thing.
Cooking.
I mean, we're talking about all the positives too,
just
but my
walked
biggest
away
thing.
from my joke then.
I got it. Sorry.
You went super serious.
Sorry, I got serious. I'm laughing.
Bro,
I'm
you're laughing at me now, though, not with me.
I do want
messed
to.
up,
I
bro.
do want to touch on, because we are talking about all the positives, which is amazing. But I think the biggest thing is Angel City has to be. Where do you think that they could get exposed the most? I watched their game versus Utah, and they were getting really exposed in the transition defensively, because we have our outside backs going up so much. We are getting exposed on those outsides. Do you think that Houston can capitalize on that, or what do you think that we need to switch here?
I think we heavily rely on our insurance policy, as I call her, Geico, Sarah Gordon. Because Sarah is our insurance policy. We
Yes.
can make mistakes at the back, and Sarah's going to go in and clean it up. And I think we need to be way more disciplined in the back. And this was proved with Kansas. Right? Our heads dropped, and we drop 2 goals.
Well, this is what I will say off of what you just said, which is very important, is if you watched the Utah game off of a set piece that Utah almost scored off of, they all just stopped, after the kick was, performed. So I think the biggest thing is always making sure they're switched on defensively, and I feel like at times they really haven't been. I think so it's really important, especially when they have the lineup that they have up front. Houston has the quickness, the speed, really making sure that they're switched on defensively.
Obviously, it's an emotional game for Paige and for, Angel City, because as a club, we have to prove we were right.
Yeah.
By trading Paige, right? Like, that's fact. And Paige, in turn, wants to prove that we were wrong.
Exactly.
So it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
No.
Now, I don't give predictions, but
I'm not giving a prediction today.
Hey, listen, you've been
I was spot on last time, though.
You've been spot on. So
I know my stuff.
Lauren, I think that you keep going with prediction. You've got a brilliant football mind.
Thank you.
Clearly, you're like Nostradamus. Even though earlier you said after the kick was performed, I let that go.
I don't know where that came from.
Let that vernacular go.
I think it's because they were playing Fleur Elise in the back, and I got,
I didn't
sidetracked.
I didn't make fun of you because I didn't want anybody to go, oh, he's mansplaining. It's not mansplaining. I'm just making fun of her.
Usually I wouldn't say that, but it's fine.
It's what we do. But what is your prediction?
3-2, Angel City.
Who's scoring?
Ooh. You know what? I have to go with Mike. Actually, you know what? Maybe Sarah will get one today.
You know I would.
I know.
Nothing more.
Yeah,
than
I think
Sarah Gordon, because you know what? Sarah Gordon deserves the.
She does. She
more
does.
than that. And it's Mother's Day.
It is.
And Sarah Gordon.
So let's give one to Sid as well.
Right. Sarah Gordon and Sid, best mothers on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just hilarious people. And the fact that they've, I look at Sarah. Sarah became a mother young. And I'm so proud of her because it's like she just got on with it. It's like, I'll become one of the best defenders in the world anyway. No worries. Caden's been brought up to be an amazing little kid. Look at Rue and Cash. Sid's done a bang-up job, not in an easy situation. So
that's when I see her.
To our mothers.
Cheers to our mothers, yes. Yes. So wait, are you not going to give a prediction?
I am not going to give a prediction apart from it could be a win, it could be a loss, or indeed, it could be a tie.
Oh my gosh. On that note, we'll see you guys.
We will see you at full time.
Angel City.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform.
Let's go.
Let's go, Angel City.
Hi, Coach. Tough loss today, obviously. I think just a little bit, can you describe both what you saw at the end of that game and unfortunately, this has been a few games at the very end where you all, had these moments. What do you say to your team after moments like that?
Do you want the truth?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I sure do.
Honestly, the moments at the end matter, but I think actually the 96 minutes before that are actually the more relevant part. And did we deserve to win? No. Did we deserve to lose? Probably not. Like, it was just one of those games where we didn't create enough. We weren't dangerous enough in the final third. We had 13 shots apparently. I don't know where they came from. Didn't feel like it. I think we had some good build-up moments, but that's not enough to win games. And ultimately, if you don't, for 96 minutes that we had to create opportunities and make Jane Campbell make saves, then we can't feel sorry for ourselves. So that last minute, it hurts, and that's football. Sometimes it's cool, but I actually think the 96 minutes before it are a space that we have to get better in, and we didn't deserve to win the game.
Yeah, Becky, you mentioned that you didn't have enough, but you had 13 shots, you don't know where they came from. 10 of them were inside the box, and you also controlled the tempo, you controlled the possession pretty much. What was it that what wasn't really working down last third?
I think quality inside the final third. I think deliveries, I think runs, I think committing numbers into the box. It's not even about being ruthless, it's about creating your own opportunities. I don't think we made Houston work hard enough in their defensive third. Again, I said we had some good moments in build-up, we played some good football, but it doesn't matter if you don't do anything with it. And I think, again, like, I looked at the stats, I don't even want to look at them, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you can have all the stats you want, but, like, you have to create quality moments. It's about quality. Football's about quality. And we didn't have quality in the final third today. I think we had a little bit of a gutsy defensive performance. We talk a lot about our shape behind the ball and not getting hurt in transition, and that includes giving away a corner in the 97th minute. Our shape behind the ball wasn't good enough. We give up a corner, and now we unnecessarily have to defend with the last kick of the game. And again, that's football that punishes you when you don't do the little things right. So.
Yes, thank you very much.
Anybody else? What are you going to do to fix that final third bit? Because
hi. For me today, it was all right. And I was impressed with Houston as well. Like they look like they're getting a style together, right? But it just seems that we get into by we I mean you and the team. We get into that final third, and we're not creating like good. Like the only one that I can think of, like Alyssa had one, and she hit it wide or got blocked wide, and Sid, like, if you can call that a clear-cut
Yeah.
chance, like on the volley. Like, how are you going to deal with that?
Yeah, I think you got to look at it as a bit of a process, right? And that's, again, this game is not forgiving with processes. You can't work on the final third until you nail the build in the middle third, and I think we can start to see our identity in that build piece. I think right now, and so far this season, we've relied on like individual qualities and brilliance and moments in the box, and we actually now, or we should flip that into making what has been the first 2/3 an improvement into the final third. And I think that is the hardest part of the game, right? And ultimately, sometimes you win games with individual brilliance and individual moments. And I think what we have to do now is grow into an identity in the attacking third that you can be predictable if you're really good at being predictable. But I do believe that there is a process behind it, and you can't just like go into training day one and say, let's work on the attacking third if you can't even get the ball there. So we do have to take the positives of the first 2/3 of the field. And again, it is the hardest part, but it's a place that we've got to spend a lot of time on. But once you get into the season, the season is unforgiving and you barely get to train. But yeah, we know that we have work to do there. We know that we have to do it collectively. We can't rely on one person creating or two people creating. And then when that person doesn't have the best game, you don't create chances. So I think that identity is something that we have to continue to work on.
I said to Sarah and Rocky, like, from the outside looking in, it's bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you feel that as well? Like, because I just feel like this, you're going to shred someone soon. And I feel like the path is going to open.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you get that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think that this group, and they're so good with honest and open feedback, and like, I don't think anyone will walk away from this pleased. Like, ultimately, last week we got 3 points, and I think we played better this week in terms of like controlling the game and being in possession, probably against a Houston side that I thought they were actually decent, and they tried to play a little bit, which was nice. But it is that final third piece, and it is the hardest piece. And I think energy, vibes, like momentum, confidence, like those are all the things that you need to have to be good in the final third. And we have to just leave this performance where it is and move forward. Like, these are the ones that hurt the most because you feel like you lost in the cup final. Like, you can take 0-0 and you say clean sheet, like, we did the defensive work, we just weren't good enough in the attacking third, and you take a point and you move forward. But then when something like this happens, it's like that killer. Yeah. Your whole mentality changes going into tomorrow. So we have to leave it here and we have to move forward from it. And I think this group is really good at that. I think we have leaders that will, and they've been there and done it, right? We've got players that have played in this league for so long, they know that it's cruel. So we just have to move forward, and I do think it is coming, but you can't live on the edge of hoping that it's coming. We actually have to live up to what we want to be and perform. And it's the details every day. I say it all the time. You can't just play on the weekend and have an average week. Your week leading up to it, you can't miss on details, because you miss on details in your last minute today, you miss on your detail here. So again, like, the group is brilliant. They'll get down into training and they'll work hard, and we know that we go to Spirits, tough road game. They're a good team in good form, but this league doesn't make any sense when it comes to form or anything like that. So we know that any game that we go into, we're going for 3 points.
Someone make a shirt. It's time to pop off. Don't tell Julie, she's heading to the t-shirt printer right now. Thank you. Anybody else? Good? All right, you guys. If you guys want to check us out at infanitytv.com. We'll see you soon.
So obviously, tough loss. What did you all just take for the end of the game?
Yeah, I'll take it. Honestly, I mean, we're at home. We wanted to win. You know, a tie for us doesn't. It's just, we shoot for a win. It's really disappointing to lose a game like that at literally the last minute. We have to accept our mistakes. We maybe lost track of the little details, although when you're there, like, we look at each other and we are saying, like, let's focus, this is us. You know, it's not that we don't pay attention to details, but this is just something that we need to learn from and be humble enough without once the game is over, you feel like it's the worst thing, and then you go back with a cold mind, and then you watch. It's not as bad or as good as you feel it is right after the game. It just sucks and it hurts. I hate it. I just hate the way that we lost, and that's all it is.
Yes.
Fred, please go ahead.
Hi, thank you very much. You obviously led pretty much in every statistical category: possessions, shots. You had 5 players that had balanced shot attempts, 5 players had at least 2 shots, but you just couldn't get that initial goal that would have more than likely secured the win. So do you see anything there why that didn't happen?
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it in the huddle after the game, that it would have been a totally different game if we put away our chances earlier. The game became really transitional throughout the entire 90, and I think that it kind of got the best of us. But it's disappointing. I mean, there are so many things that you could pick out and critique. And like when I look at the goal on the set piece, like I'm the one, I played a diagonal ball that led to a transition. I kicked it out for like we could have been in a different spot. And I have to take accountability for the things that I did, that led to the corner. But I just think that coulda, shoulda, woulda. We go back to practice this week. We've been really focused on kind of like breaking the first line and having possession, breaking out of our half. And so I think maybe we'll go back to the drawing board and work more on holding the ball higher up the field.
And the defense, it seemed like it was working. I mean, whatever you were doing, you were definitely stymieing them, or, you're kind of compressing them.
Yeah, and that was our game plan. We know that they've had multiple games in the last week or two, and we're at home, they're away from home, so we did want to, press them and put them under pressure. So that was our game plan, but we didn't get the job done.
Yeah, and the mindset is just somehow put this in the back and just focus going forward, right? Is that the only thing you can do?
Exactly. I mean, it's a really tough way to lose at home in the last minute. In a lot of ways, when we talk about things like this, it's pretty unacceptable. And it's the second time that it's happened to us this year off of a set piece at the end of the game. So I think that we have some work to do as a group. Anybody else? Let them know. Oh, yes, Steve, please go ahead. Hello, David.
This is for both of you. I think you guys as a unit, I've described it earlier as like bubbling, and you're ready to pop off. Right, like in all seriousness, like Rocky, like you've assimilated yourself into this group like you've been forever. Right, and I feel like you pick locks. Like you go through, you pick people's pockets and you make things happen. Sarah, I call Geico. She's the insurance company, right? So
yeah, she is.
We've got 2 players here and 2 big pieces. And from my perspective, when you're talking to fans, we're not schooling bodies. Right? So how are you guys going to change that if, like, game day after game day, it's like we're not getting our forward, like, clear cut. I remember Sid, maybe that's a clear cut opportunity with a volley off a cross, not really clear cut. Like, how do we fix that? Because you're a wonderful player. Like, in fact, you've done it for years. How do we fix that?
I wish soccer was, or football was math, but, Utah, it wasn't our best game. We won. We didn't have many chances, and we were effective, and that was, our forwards. Today, maybe we played a better game, but didn't come through. I think, maybe what the fans see is that my transition was seamless, but actually there was a lot of minutes spent in training, a lot of help from the staff, from my teammates, and I think actually today we finally kind of got down that build-up that in other games not necessarily. And so I think there's nothing that work can't achieve. And we wish that we could have like a great start in the season, but sometimes, look at Gotham last year, right? They came from low in the table, and then they end up, champions. And so I think that it's something that we need to work on. Different games expose different things, Maybe today, like I said earlier, maybe we need to watch it and with a little bit of a cold-headed, just take a day or two off, watch it back, and then be a little more objective. And whatever it is that the coaches want to work on, we'll get on board. But like I said, I think there's nothing that union between the players and work cannot achieve. And if Sarah and me look good, it's because the team, we have their support. And some games, it's a team sport, right? Some games, some players look better than others, but at the end of the day, it's Angel City who lost, and it's details. And so we want to win for the fans, for the club, for us, and we will get there.
Do you have the same feeling, though, that the pot is boiling and you're about to pop off?
Well, when you lose,
pop off, please?
when you lose a game like this, it's oh my God, of course, it's. I was telling Sarah I could only laugh, otherwise I'd punch somebody, So, but I think with the years you learn that, if you feel like you had a great game, you look it back and you're like, oh, it wasn't as great. If you feel like it was a terrible game, you look it back and it's not that terrible. It's, what is it? Should have, could have, would have. It's true. Like I said, football is not math. We've had worse games and we won. Yeah.
But to your point, I do feel like the chemistry between the center backs and the midfield is really getting there. Like, the ball movement was a lot better. The second half, it felt like we had a lot of the momentum. So to your point, yes, maybe we are about to pop off.
Oh, that's what it meant to pop off? That's what it meant to pop off? As in, like, it's almost like breaking the ceiling?
Yeah, like
okay.
it's lit.
Yes, I do feel that way. Yes, I do feel that way, actually.
Like, pop off.
I do feel that way.
And on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, Sarah.
Welcome back to Infanity TV, Lauren. Unfortunately, it happened again.
Yeah, just, one of those days, as you say, that's the nature of football. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. And, Angel City, they outplayed Houston. They did. But at the end, they just couldn't get that win.
The annoying thing is the last minute.
Yeah.
Because we literally had 20 seconds after that. Paige Nielsen wrote her own story tonight, which is fantastic for Paige, not so fantastic for Angel City. So an annoying loss tonight because I feel that we had parts of the game where we're playing really good football. You can see us building up. We're still not getting what they're still not feeding our forwards the true chances that good forwards need to score. As I said in the press conference, it's bubbling. It's going to pop off. But, like I said beforehand, Houston were good tonight.
They were.
And I feel like a lot of people are rating Houston from last month, when they've been building with this style and you're seeing it. Do I think we were the better team? Yes. Do I think we've got to give our forwards more than 2 half chances? Yes. Next game, we have to do better. Positives, though, were we were very, very solid for 96 minutes at the back. Sarah Geico Gordon was immense back there. And Rocky was great going forward. It's just one of these games where you just feel a bit deflated afterward, because 97th minute,
I think
great for them, not for us.
I think one of the biggest things, and Becky spoke on it, and we talked about it when you asked your question, is for her it was the quality, right? It's the quality in the final third. So they are getting the opportunities. They had what they say 13 shots on goal, but it's the quality of those chances. It's the quality of the crosses, getting the ball in there, and that's just not good enough. So. What do you want to add to that?
I will say in Becky we trust. I'm seeing a style being built out.
Exactly.
I think we've got the resilience within our experience, and with our inexperienced players, we've got that that energy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I'm not making any judgments. I just want us to win. I think we've got the staff to do it. I think we've got the players to do it. Again, we've got the jigsaw. Just got to put the pieces together.
Yeah. I think too, just one thing to add, you know, we spoke about this in the pregame show is the set pieces. You know, we've seen them getting scored in the last couple games off of set pieces. So it's just that, you know, switching the brain off maybe in those last 20 seconds and, you know, just maybe organizing that a little bit better. And I think moving forward,
Yeah, I'm buzzing for the next game though.
It's going to be a big one against Washington Spirit.
I'm a half full kind of guy. And it wouldn't surprise me. Spirit are riding high. They're playing really good football. This is the game.
Yep.
That it wouldn't surprise me if we pop off.
I agree.
Honestly. And that would be a great one to kick the season off in the direction that we want. Lauren, thank you. Give me a high five.
We're at the high fives now. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. Yes.
And then we're at home again.
And then we're at home again on the 23rd. So we hope you guys will all be joining us along for the ride. And thank you so much.
Let's get ready to pop off.
Pop off, baby.